Hi everyone, welcome to Creative Stampin' Designs. My name is Karen. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Central New Jersey. How's everyone doing today? If you're watching the live or you're watching the replay, just let me know where you're watching from. Always like seeing where everybody's coming from. I'm trying to see if I'm straight or I'm not, and I'm going to try not to make you dizzy here. Everything looks so different from one place to another. All right, that's about as straight as I'm going to get. All right, I am going to get started. I am using one of the new sets from the new 2023-2024 annual catalog. It's a science. And I did some of the prep ahead of time, but not all of it. So, all right. I'm also going to be using the Stylish Shapes dies and the new Wanted to Say, hold on, I'm just trying to get them out of the envelope. Wanted to Say dies. There's all different ones. There's Feel Better Soon. Trying to see backwards what it says. You're Too Kind, Celebrate. There's Happy Birthday. And then there's the bow, flowers, stars, hearts. And I'm going with this is like a package for a birthday and a stem for the flower. And you could do the sentiment just alone or with the outline, the mat on it. All right, I did pre-cut these, so I didn't put it together yet, but I did pre-cut that part. All right. All right, let's just get this out of the way. Like I said, I did a little bit of the prep work, but not all of it. So let's put this on the side for right now. And get my card base. Now, this card has a lot of little pieces to it. I was trying to keep everything separate. Oops. Okay. We are starting with a bubble bath card base, and I did score it already, and the card base is 10.5 by 5.5. Make sure I did. Okay. And it's scored at 3.5 and 7 inches. All right, so we are going to just unfolder. So we're just going to fold it like a Z fold. So it will fit in, let me just fix this edge a little bit. It will fit in a regular envelope. It's just going to be, the finished card is going to be a little smaller. It's going to be a 3.5 by 5.5. So, but there's going to be layers, so that'll make up for a little bit. I need this still. Okay, so it's just Z fold, real simple fold, right? And I have a panel of the Azure Afternoon DS cardstock and the Bright and Beautiful DSP, and this measures 3.25 by, I'm sorry, is it 3.25? 3.25 by 5.25. Right, and I am just going to adhere this onto the mat. And you will see I use a mix of Stampin' Seal and liquid glue. I don't like to use all liquid glue, but in cases like this, I prefer when I'm live, I do use more liquid glue because of getting it straight. I like to make sure it's straight. All right, and we're just going to put this panel on the front of the card. Of the card base, sorry. Just like that. And again, like I said, I like the liquid glue because then I have a little bit of wiggle room. Right, then I have 2 more panels of the Bright and Beautiful. These are going to go on the inside, so we're just going to adhere these down. And these I did not put a mat. I only have the mat on the front and back panels. Just gonna, there we go. Okay, there's my lid. Okay, now I'm just set this here for a moment. I did do a little bit of stamping ahead of time, and I'll show you why in a minute. All right, so I have 3 panels of the Azure Afternoon that are 1.5 inches by 6 inches, and these are scored at 1.5, 3, and 4.5, and we're just going to fold these. I'm going to do all the folding first before I do anything else. I think this is it with the folding. All right. And what I'm going to do to make it a little easier, I think, actually no, I can adhere these. So I did get my tear and tape out. I just figured it'll be a little bit easier. These are going to pop open when we open and close the card. I'm just going to put a couple pieces. The tear and tape is, I believe, is one of our strongest. I mean, Stampin' Seal is very strong also. I cannot tear a straight line. All right, and we're just going to put this on all of them. And I thought about it putting the DSP on these before I adhere them down, which I can do. But I'm going to use liquid glue, so it'll go down pretty easily. And one more. We are having one beautiful spring afternoon here. This whole week has been beautiful. Whoops. It's been sunny and perfect temperatures. All right. I think that's all we need that for. All right. I'm going to just give these a little press so hopefully the tape comes up a little bit easier. And I'm going to take all 4 of the pieces off right now, because I'll show you how I'm going to put these down. All right, so we're going to fold these in like that. And I'm going to start with the bottom one. And I'm going to line up the score line like that. I'm going to come up just a little bit. I'm going to line up that score line. Give it a little press. And then when you close it, there you have it. It'll kind of pop open. Hey Carol, thanks for joining. I didn't get to see your live today, Carol. I'm going to have to go back to watch it. I always get stuck that little bit late at work. I did see the card, so I'm anxious to go back and watch it. All right, now I'm going to do the top one the same way, and then I'll do the middle one. Just line up the score lines again, just like that. Give it a little press. Come on. There we go. See, it should fold no problem. This is why I didn't put any, I didn't put mats on the inside, because it does get a little bit bulky in there. All right, we have one more. We're going to try to get this centered between these two. And once again, we're going to line up the score line. And there they go. There you have it, a little pop-up. Okay. And they're easy to decorate because it does go flat. So what I have is 6 pieces of the Bright and Beautiful DSP. And I am just going to randomly put these pieces around on these squares. I just want to spread the glue a little bit. Make sure it's in the corners. Okay. Oops. And these each measure, I believe it's 1 3/8 by 1 3/8. All the measurements will be on my blog on Friday, creativestampindesigns.com. And you just have to, for the measurements, you just have to kind of scroll to the bottom. And everything's down there, the measurements, all the products that I used, along with all the numbers. So everything is right there for you. There we go. Okay, and I'm getting a little gluey already. I could use the Stampin' Seal, but like I said, I prefer the liquid glue when I'm doing things like this, only because of having the wiggle room to get it straight. Thanks, Carol. I haven't done this one in a while. I went back, I was just looking at all. Now, I have little samples, templates that I make myself. And I was going through, and I figured, you know what, I haven't done this in a while. Let me do this one, something different. And it kind of went with what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. Leave that out. Well, actually, I probably won't need that. All right, so that's the inside. That's all the DSP. Everything's all in order. I'm going to do the front, because the front's really easy. It's just the sentiment on the front. And I did remember when I cut this out, I need to have a sink binder so I can wash my hands in between. I did remember I put the adhesive sheet on the back, so I didn't have to get full of glue with this. And these will fit right on. They fit perfectly in the mat. As I'm holding my breath so I can get it down just right. There we go. Yeah, there's no wiggle room with this. When I'm just doing stuff by myself, Carol, I forget to put the adhesive sheet on. But I was sitting here, when I was putting everything together, I was getting ready to cut this out, and I said, you know what? I grabbed the adhesive sheet and got it on real quick. I try to remember whenever I'm doing anything with like delicate pieces, I try to stick it to my finger, not the paper. I try to remember to use the adhesive sheets, only because it just makes it a lot easier. I don't get gluey. I don't get glue all over everything. And it's hard to see the white on white here. Okay, there we go. And then I'm just going to turn it over and give it a good press. Whoops. Okay. All right, and I'm going to put this on the front with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Everything stick it to my hands. May not be sticking where I want it to, but it's sticking to my fingers, no problem. And I went with the white only because it's going to be against all the colors, the stripes and all. I wanted to make sure it would pop a little bit. just putting it in between. I know I'm probably putting way more than I need, but I want to make sure it sticks. And I want a piece down, the little piece down there. Should be okay. That should be good. That should be more than enough. Whoops. I think I got them all off. I did. I think I'm actually going to go on a slant. Yeah, I think I like that. Because nothing else is really, other than I do have some embellishments, nothing else is really going on the front of this. Most of the action is going to be on the inside. All right. Where are my pieces? Okay, so what I did, I have little pieces for here. Some of them I stamped on pieces of white, and I have a couple more to cut out because I have one for each panel. But these, where is the, okay. So these are all one stamp. What I did is I used my black, basic black Stampin' Right marker, and I colored each one, stamped it, cleaned it, did the next one. This one here I cut out with the smallest square from the Stylish Shapes dies, and that's what I'm going to use on two others. And then these the same thing. I just use my black Stampin' Right marker so that I could cut them each individually. I thought about fussy cutting, and I changed my mind really fast with that. Okay, what I'm going to do is, this is the piece of white that I'd cut the mat for the sentiment, and I am going to stamp the other two images on it and die cut them with the square. Whoops, I did that one already. So that's the only thing I do have to go to cut out. I was going to do these, you know, cut the squares, but then my chances of getting them centered on the square wasn't too good. So I'm going to cut these real quick. Just get them centered. And unfortunately I only have one square, so I'm just going to cut the one and cut the other. I'll be right back. One is a very tight fit. I have to kind of turn the square a little. Okay. There we go. Actually got the whole thing in. I wasn't sure if I was going to get the whole thing in or not. All right, now these I am going to just color real quick. It's not much coloring to do, and I'm using just the colors from the DSP. So I got Bubble Bath. I keep wanting to call this Bubble Gum. Bubble Bath, Lemon Lolly, Azure Afternoon, and Lemon Lime Twist. I couldn't remember the colors I pulled out. And I'm not gonna, I'm gonna leave it a little uneven up there because it's liquid, and liquids aren't always even, especially if they're bubbly. This is the Lemon Lime Twist. You know, when we originally had that color, I didn't like it. And for some reason, I find myself using it all the time now. Still not sure if I like it, but... And these are going to just get adhered with Stampin' Seal because I can't have anything popping up on the inside. Okay. All right. So I am just randomly going to put the, oh, okay, that Stampin' Seal I didn't think anything came out. Just randomly going to put these on. I wasn't supposed to go all the way to the top, but I did. Okay, I'm good. So we're going to put, I think we're going to, this one here. And then I need, whoops. And put that one like that. This one on the top. I don't know. I guess I'll keep it straight. There. That time it's not coming out. There we go. Now it's coming out. And we'll put the last one in the middle. This one's only gonna put the seal on the bottom because this one I know overhangs a little. This one is a little bit bigger. This one might overhang just that little bit. Yeah, that's good. All right, and then I am going to stamp right on the DSP. We're going to just put right on this side, I think. Yeah, I think we're going to put this over here. I'm just going to put there's going to be another sentiment on the back. And again, I'm going crooked. I don't normally go crooked, but I felt the need to with this one. And just while I have it open, I'm going to put a couple embellishments on the front. I'm going to use, what are these? The opaque ovals. Let me close this end up before I stab myself. I'm not going to really see that one there. And we're going to use one of the bigger ones. Put it down here. Just to give a little bit of bling on the front. All right, get the back panel. So I have a panel of basic white that is, I think, 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and I do have a mat for this one. And I am going to need to make sure I have, I think it was 2 lines up, I think I said. I had a stamp. Get that straight. Where's my black ink? And we're going to really try hard to get this straight. To make that imaginary line. That looks pretty straight to me. Okay, my finger just froze and I couldn't get. And gotta love a pun. This set has a lot of puns in it too. I'm gonna try to get this straight too. Close this. And I do have 2 more strips. I figured, why waste it? 2 strips of the DSP. Actually, I'm going to put the adhesive right on here. I guess I'm going to trim this one a little bit. I went a little lower than, I thought it was 2 lines. I was trying to remember how thick this was. I'll just trim it off a little bit. It's not a big deal. This is just, like I said, just to give it a little extra, decorate the back a little. I'm just going to use my snips to give this a little trim. And trim this. am going to add just a little bit of color to this. I'm not going to color the whole thing in. I'm just going to, just to give it a little bit of color. And I know this isn't the color of a microscope, but you know what, we're going to use the yellow. And I forgot to pull out one. Come on. Okay, this is just the light, just for this part of it. I have, this is the light basic black. Last one I made, I colored this all in using my just the basic black. I wanted this one to have a little bit of color. All right, we're going to adhere this to the mat. And again, like I said, I switch around with my adhesive. I'm just going to put this right on the back here. So this is where you can sign. I mean, you could sign it right on the inside too. There we go. That's really all. I'm just going to do the envelope. Oh, there you go. A little pop-up. Oh. My envelope. And I just have another piece of the same DSP, as the front, for the Bright and Beautiful. And this was, normally I have it, it's 2 1/4 by 6 inches, but I just took whatever little piece was left because I knew, I mean, well, I'll have a little strip if I ever need it. Let's give this a quick trim and we will be done. Ooh, I went a little closer to the edge than I realized. It's like right perfect. And I already did the front of the envelope. I did that ahead of time. Put that on the side. And that was the front. That's what I did on the front. And there we go. Just a little fun fold birthday card. Using it. It's a science set. Excuse me one second. My dog, I'm sorry. The dog is jumping on me. That's all. I hope you like it. You give it a try. It's a nice card with, if you have any little small images, it works great with it. There you go. Again, all the measurements and everything will be on my blog on... Hi, Catherine. Thanks for joining. Will be on my blog on Friday, creativestampindesigns.com. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. If you do make the card, it will be live on my Facebook page on Friday also. Everything goes live around 8 o'clock. And if you do make it, in the comments, post a picture of your card. I always like seeing everybody's cards, what they make and all. All right. Thanks for joining, and I hope to see you next week. I'll be back around the same time next week, 4 o'clock next Wednesday. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.